What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you the blue ribbon 4-H fair winning secret to growing giant, larger, healthier, more beautiful sunflowers. And it's very, very simple, and it's through a method of pruning. That's right, pruning. Let's get down into it. So about 2 weeks ago, I bumped into a fan of the show and we got to talking about growing vegetables, and she was really impressed with our giant vegetables that we've grown in the past, things like our giant onions or giant tomatoes that we've grown. And she showed me a picture on her phone of some giant sunflowers, and these things were huge. And Jeanette actually has won the 4-H fair sunflower growing competition or show, I guess. I don't do 4-H, but I guess there's a show where you can show these vegetables. And so 4-H is something that kids can do, adults can do, and you can raise animals as well as vegetables to win awards. And Jeanette actually has won 4 years in a row for the largest sunflower. And so I asked her if she minded sharing her secrets that I could share with all of you. And she said that, well, she first started off by saying that if I shared with anybody that she'd have to kill me, but then she retracted that and said she was just joking, which I was glad about because I really wanted to share with all of you. And so we got to talking and she shared with me her secret, and she said it's really surprising because a lot of people that do this, they think that there's special nutrients or, sunlight, special amounts of sunlight to give them and all these different things, staking and all this stuff. And she said it's just as simple as pruning. That's what she does. Now, obviously, there is a method of picking healthy genetics. Genetics does play a big role into growing giant sunflowers, so she does save her own seed. And so she said once she starts with a giant sunflower, she'll grow a bunch of sunflowers and she'll pick the healthiest of those, save the seeds, and continue doing that. And year after year, she starts getting healthier genetics that favor larger sunflowers. And so that's one thing that she does. But the method that she does to get her plants to become healthier, larger, and overall bigger heads is by pruning. And so I'm going to bring you in close because this is what's crazy. Is she said that she does nothing different when it comes to fertilizing. She plants them in pure compost. That's the only thing she fertilizes and feeds them with because sunflowers are amazing at actually creating biomass from pretty barren soil. They really don't require that much nutrients, but they become these massive plants and they're really incredible. So they really don't need like a super heavy fertilizer. And what she has found is that if you feed them with a really heavy fertilizer, say something high in nitrogen, the flowers are actually much smaller because they focus more on leaf growth. But if you favor something like phosphorus, which usually would help with flower development, the plants don't get super big, and therefore because the plants don't get really big, the flowers don't get really big. And what she found is that a very steady, slow growth is actually the secret to getting giant sunflowers when it comes to a feeding regimen. So there's nothing that you need to do to fertilize them differently. As far as the pruning goes, she said she treats them just like a tomato. Now you see, tomatoes will produce suckers, and suckers are separate plants that grow off the main stem that then eventually will produce flowers and fruit of their own. The same goes for sunflowers. Now I have this huge sunflower behind me, and if you were to let the sunflower grow, what would happen is it would produce the main stem and it would produce a main flower. And most sunflowers will produce one main flower. Some will produce multiple heads, but for the most part, if you're growing a giant sunflower like a mammoth gray stripe or just a regular mammoth or a Russian black, or a sky reacher. There's lots of different varieties of giant sunflowers out there, but for the most part, they're going to produce one main head. And then all along the stem, if you let that one main head grow and you cut it back, which we've done videos on, if you top that off before it produces seed, when the sunflower kind of droops its head down before the seeds mature, you can chop that off and it will actually start flowering off of the side shoots. So it gives you a longer life and kind of more bloom time on your sunflower. But if you want one large, massive main head on your sunflower, you gotta take those suckers off. And when you do that, it actually reroutes the energy back to the main head, just like pruning your tomatoes. When you prune your tomatoes, as we've talked about, it reroutes energy into producing fruit as well as future growth. And as long as you have future growth, the only place for that energy to go is where you're allowing it to go. If you prune off the suckers, it basically creates a bunch of dead ends, and all those dead ends funnel that energy straight up to where you want it to go. And in the case of sunflowers, that can amplify the results even more than in a tomato. So coming in close, I'm going to show you exactly what she instructed me to do and to share with all of you. And I really hope that you all are going to enjoy this, because I was amazed. She had sunflowers that, kid you not, were 12, 13, 14, even bigger inches in diameter. She said on average, her average sunflower in like a small kind of reject category is 12 inches. 12 inches in diameter. I mean, that's absolutely massive, and that's a reject for her. She said she's grown some that are 18 and 20 inches in diameter. That's like, I mean, that's just insane. All right, so we got our sunflower here, and it's looking incredible. Leaves are getting nice and big. One of the signs of a healthy sunflower is the bigger the leaves, the bigger the head. That's what she told me. So she said how she kind of selects her sunflowers is she can tell it's going to be a big sunflower just based on the size of the leaves. So the bigger the leaves, the bigger the head. But you come down here, and you're going to notice that they start producing side shoots, and these side shoots look like little baby plants. And what she does is she actually just takes them and pops them right off. She said they snap off easily, which they do. She come in here and pull these off, just like you would a tomato. And they grow right in the cracks of the plant, just like a tomato. So you have here a lateral leaf node, and then in the joint between the leaf node and the main stem, you have the sucker. And so just like tomatoes, she comes here and she picks all these off. And what that does is it forces energy into the main flower. So she comes up here the whole way and prunes these off. They break off super easily, so you don't have to worry about doing too much damage to the main plant. And as the plant grows, she'll continue to come in here and she'll continue to prune these off as the plant grows. Now, it's very important to do this as the plant grows, because what you don't want to do is let those get too advanced. If you let them get too advanced, they'll start to steal energy away from the main head. So the sooner you catch them, the better. But that is all she does. And then as the plant grows, it's going to continue to produce more little side shoots right in the corners there. And what you're doing is you're focusing on this main head. You're focusing on this part of the plant, and you're just kind of prioritizing that. It's going to grow up taller. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get healthier. And in the end, when this thing flowers, you're going to have a massive, absolutely gigantic sunflower head. So there you go. It is that simple to getting giant, absolutely massive sunflower heads. I really honestly could not believe it was this simple, but she swore by it and she told me I could share it with everybody else. So I hope you guys try it. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And again, thank you so much to Jeanette for sharing this tip with me. I always love learning new things, and I know you all do as well. So thank you so much. And I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure to throw a like up there. Subscribe if you're not yet already. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.